Hey everybody, this is attempt number 3 on this video, so I hope you guys like this one. What a shit show. Okay, so today I wanted to show you how we go about getting clean tones, and I thought what better way to show you that than to show you with our song Constants. Now, we kind of go about it in a really simple way because it is pretty simple, to be honest with you. What we say and what we do isn't, the rule. There's no rules here. That's why we do what we do, is because it's unconventional and it's kind of weird. So what we do is mostly involved with the pickup position and whether or not we use a cab sim. 99% of the time, we're not using a cab sim. Why? Because it sounds more exciting, has more high end, and it cuts a little bit more. There's a difference between not using a cab sim and getting like the Tesseract Monuments vibe. We started out doing that a lot, and then we've kind of like strayed from that a little bit, especially in this song. I tracked this song with the Abasi because there has a split coil option. So if you do have a guitar that has a split coil option, that's the way to go, 100%. It makes things sound infinitely better. This one has a 3-way switch, so we're going to use the middle position, which I used for the first 2 EPs, and you can still get really great results with that. I never use the rhythm or the bridge. If I'm doing reverb tails, I'll use the bridge position, just because it's a little bit easier to have a little bit more gain or just power behind it. The middle position though is good for any dreamy kind of ethereal stuff, any reverb stuff. So let's dive in. I got all the stems here, as you can see. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start out. You can use a lot of the different Neural plugins for this. I really enjoy the Plini plugin for cleans and leads, especially because it's super easy to get a great sound out of it. So I'm going to load Plini up on this side. I'm not going to pan it yet, but we're just going to put it on the left. And a lot of people are like, don't use presets. Why are you using presets? I disagree. I think presets are a great way to start off and figure out where to go from, So this Dream Clean preset is usually where my go-to for right off the bat. So I'm just going to arm it and show you what that sounds like by itself. And it sounds like shit. Here's why. Because on this plugin, for whatever reason, if you have it on normal sampling, it bit crushes it, which is actually kind of cool for certain effects. But if you put it on high, it sounds like this. So it sounds cool. It sounds really good. Now, if I am to take away the cab sim and remove those out of the equation, we're going to get this. Which to me, right off the bat, sounds so much more exciting and pretty, And that's what we're going for. We're going for very verby, beautiful, just nice. Nice. Okay, so that's the beauty of plugins, is that I'm like pretty happy with that, but I'm going to tweak, obviously. But what I can do is I can just record the DI and then record the other side really quick. And then we can send them to a bus and we can just start tweaking. So let me record that really quick. I got this armed here with where it's going to be going. I got the click going, and let's just record one side. Okay, now we're just going to copy that over. We're just going to do that to the other side. I'm going to pan this left, and then we're going to pan that one right. And let's go for the other side. Awesome. So, all together, it's going to sound like this. Sounds pretty good. So what we're going to do now is, like, right off the bat, effect-wise, I know that I want more verb, and I want a bit more delay too. And the cool thing with the Plini plugin is that it has a really great reverb. So I'm going to mute the other side. I'm going to solo this, put it stereo, and I'm just going to listen, and I'm going to mess around with the reverb a little bit and just get that kind of like larger than life ambience. All right. I'm also going to turn the click off now that I'm done tracking. That sounds really good. So I'm going to remove the other side, and I'm going to bring it over. That way I don't have to repeat the process, and it just automatically copies it. All you have to do is just make sure that you repan the other one. And altogether it's going to sound like this. Let's fix that coming in because it just didn't cut right. There you go. So that's a lot of effects, but like we're trying to get that point across where it's supposed to sound like larger than life, right? So now what I do is I do some further tweaking. So I'm sending this to a bus. So all I've done is I've sent guitar left, guitar right into one stereo. So now I can treat both and save on CPU, which I highly recommend doing to your tracks. So I'm going to now play the song, and I'm going to listen for what I want to remove. So the first stage of this is to remove what I don't like. And there is a lot of boxiness in there that I don't really enjoy. So let's listen and do some removal. I'm also going to just put it on repeat for halfway. Okay, so nothing too crazy. I just really didn't like how much boxiness was in there. And there was a lot. So this has helped quite a bit. And I could even go a bit further with it, but honestly, in this context, like I feel like that's pretty good. So here's before. Here's after. So we removed excess low end that we didn't need. Got rid of like the nasally boxy areas. I'm also hearing some weirdness in like these brittle areas. So I'm just going to do a quick sweep and see if any of that can be taken out. two more areas where it just needed a little bit more attention, and I'm happy with that now. It's sounding really good, but I want more out of it, and I want more high end. So what I will do now is I will add another EQ, and then I'm just going to go through the high end and see if there's anything that I can do there. Primarily, the high end, what I mean by that is like the air of the tone, which is usually around like 10K. That's like your air of the cab being pushed. Even though we're not using a cab, same type of concept. It's just you want to take a look at that and just be like, okay, how can I make this sound a little bit more like popping? How can I make it more popping? So I'm going to take a bell and I'm going to just make it pretty narrow. Yeah. And there's still some nasal stuff going on that I want to get rid of, so just 1 second. Cool. Now I'm just going to make the volume match a little bit better. All right. So now we're on step 3, which is compression. So now what we're going to do is we're going to compress the signal. Some people have asked me about compression on the way in, and I use it on bass. I do not use it on guitars. I don't usually use it on guitars on the way in. I will compress guitars when it's necessary, like in this situation. And for that, we're just going to use an 1176 compressor, which Waves makes one. There's some free ones too. I enjoy the UA one, even though it is pretty taxing on the old CPU. But let's see if this is the right one. Yes. Okay. So let me just set this up. So you may have noticed that the volume went up a little bit. So we're going to take care of that. This is the output knob here. And what we want to do is we want to A/B and make sure that the volume is the same when we've applied the effect. So this is before. This is after. So we're just going to duck that a little bit. And all I did there was I just matched the volume on the decibel reader before and after. So that's all sounding really good. We're compressing about, let's see. Yeah, so we're doing 3 to 5 decibels of gain reduction. And now I just want to add a little bit more verb. I know that sounds crazy, but let's just try it out. Everything verb-wise that we do mostly is Valhalla. We love Valhalla, and we abuse the hell out of it. And you should too, because it sounds incredible. I'm going to use this room setting, which we use on vocals. We use on everything. It's the stock setting. Dan uses the same setting. And we're just going to go up, and we're just going to move this to taste and see what's happening. So we're at 0% right now, and we're going to move, I'm guessing, maybe like 20% to 30%. That sounds great. Can you hear that tail still going? That's awesome. That's what we wanted for this part. It's supposed to sound very over the top. Awesome. So why don't we compare that to what's on the final? So I'm going to mute mine. Let's just go like that. And then I'm going to put in this one. So this is what was on the final. Now let's hear mine. So obviously they're not the same, and that's okay. If I had a split coil here to show you, I could show you that with a split, this is like pretty much identical. Like, I'm not kidding you. It's very, very similar. But this goes to show you that within about 10 minutes of tweaking, 15 minutes of tweaking, you can get something that's very, very close. To me, that sounds great. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. It's not the same as the official, but that's all right. You work with what you got, right? And I think that these plugins are incredible, and they do a lot more than just heavy stuff. And yeah, you know, like, experiment. Do you like if you try out with a cab sim, try without, see what's up. And like, personally, if that made a final, I'd be happy because it sounds really cool. And yeah, if you have a split coil guitar, I highly recommend to check that out and to use this style of processing and to use this plugin and to see what's up, because you will probably be really stoked on what you get out of it. I'm going to do another tutorial on the heavy side of things in this song pretty quick. If you liked what you saw, let me know what else you want to see, what other tutorials you'd like. I plan on doing a lot more of these. So yeah, thanks so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.